Let me guess, you're eating clean, you're hitting the gym, and you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but when you step on the scale, that number just will not budge. It is infuriating as fuck, isn't it? It's the kind of frustration that makes you want to just throw the towel in, order a Domino's pizza, and maybe launch that scale out the window onto the street. Now, if any of that sounds remotely familiar, you'll need to stick around in this video, okay? Because that feeling of being stuck, of putting all the work in and getting zero out of it is the exact reason a hell of a lot of people give up. But what if it's not about willpower? What if there are things happening behind the scenes of your daily life, quietly sabotaging your best efforts without you even realizing it? When you're busy, the rule book for weight loss does look a little bit different. Most of the generic advice out there doesn't work when your life is back-to-back meetings, client demands, family obligations, you know the drill. It's not that you're lazy, is it? It's that your life is too bloody demanding. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 reasons why you're not losing weight, especially when you feel like you're doing everything pretty spot on. These are the traps that specifically catch out CEOs, business owners, parents, anybody who's busy and trying to juggle a million things at once. And I'm not just going to point out the problems because you probably already know what the problems are. For each one of them, I'm going to give you something powerful that you can work with to fight back against it. They're not going to be massive changes. They're not going to be life-altering overhauls. They're just going to be small, smart things you can do to feel a little bit less stuck and finally see some results that you've been working really hard for. So let's get into the first one, and arguably the biggest reason you're not losing weight. The first roadblock is something every busy person knows very well: a simple lack of organization. When you're constantly on the go, this can spiral into 2 major problems: unplanned snacking and decision fatigue. Just think about your typical weekday for a second. You rush out the door, you bounce from one task to the next one, and you probably eat lunch at your desk while firing off a few emails. By the time you get home, you are mentally fried, and you just cannot be asked to cook a healthy meal because it feels impossible. Oh, I get it, it happens. This is where things can start to go wrong. Because you don't have a plan, you grab what's easy. The office donuts, raiding the vending machine, that sneaky takeout on your way home, maybe stopping off at Mackey's. They seem like small choices, but they add up to hundreds of hidden calories that will completely undo your progress. This isn't a failure, and this isn't a lack of discipline, okay? It's a failure of your current system. When you're overwhelmed, your brain defaults to the path of least resistance. Healthy choices usually require a little bit of prep and a bit of mental prep. Unhealthy choices are pre-packaged and they're ready to go. They are extremely convenient, which ain't great if you're trying to eat healthier food, right? Without a system in place, the unhealthy choice wins almost every time because your environment is set up for it to win. This constant battle will tank your motivation massively, and it makes you feel like you're failing when really you were just a bit underprepared. So the hack to this is the grab and go method. So let's change the game here for you a little bit. We're going to make the healthy choice an easier choice by creating a grab and go system. And I'm not talking about spending all day Sunday prepping complicated meals. That sucks. Again, I've been there, I've tried it, it sucks. I'm talking about doing the work up front in short bursts to save yourself a week of bad decisions and a week of stress. So here's how it works, okay? Set aside 1 to 2 hours over the weekend. Probably 1 is the max you'll need. If you don't think you've got that time, you've got to find it somewhere. Now, your only goal is to create ready-to-eat components that you can assemble in minutes. So first up is protein, okay? Now, protein is going to be your busy friend when it comes to feeling full and keeping you satisfied for longer. It helps regulate your appetite more. Cook a big batch of chicken breasts, grill some shrimp, it could be some hard-boiled eggs. Store them in clear containers, right at eye level in the fridge. That's important as well. Make healthy, ready-to-eat protein the first thing you see. Secondly, prep your snacks. So wash and chop vegetables, carrots, celery, peppers, all that jazz. Portion out nuts, seeds. Put some Greek yogurt into small containers. Keep a big bowl of fruit on the counter so you can see it. This is the easiest thing to grab and go, and you're more likely to eat it if it's in sight. Just like that, you've built a bit more of a system. When you're rushing in the morning, you can grab 2 hard-boiled eggs and a bag of almonds already pre-prepared. For lunch, you can toss that pre-cooked chicken into some salad or some greens. And when the 3 p.m. slump hits, you got some veggies, a hummus ready on the go. You've taken decision making out of the equation for those moments when your willpower is at its lowest. The healthy option is now the easiest option, which is great. Now we're looking at stress. This is the second reason you are not losing weight, and it's one we always try and ignore: chronic stress. So in today's hustle culture, it's about being stressed out like it's a badge of honor. It's crazy. But inside your body, it's quietly ruining your weight loss goals. When you're under constant pressure, your body pumps out a hormone called cortisol. Your body's stress response is literally ancient. It was designed to save you from an impending physical threat, like a friggin' saber-toothed tiger attacking you. Today, that threat isn't a saber-toothed tiger, is it? It's a looming deadline or a flooded inbox. But your body doesn't know the difference. And I know it sounds daft, but it's true. This constant drip of cortisol does a few very, very damaging things to you. First up, it cranks up your appetite, specifically for high sugar and high fat foods. This is why you crave a cookie, not craving a cucumber. Your brain is screaming for that quick hit of comfort. Secondly, is chronic cortisol can actually signal to your body to store body fat, particularly around your belly, which sucks. So even if you're eating fewer calories, your body's biologically programmed to hold on to fat because it thinks it's in a constant state of emergency. That tiger's coming after you. This creates a bit of a vicious cycle. You feel stressed, so you eat junk food. Eating junk food makes you feel guilty, which raises your stress levels. And that kills your motivation to exercise or to plan your meals, which leads to, you guessed it, more friggin' stress. It's a loop that has absolutely nothing to do with your desire to be healthy and has everything to do with your hormones. So the hack around this is the 5-minute reset. You can just eliminate stress from your life, if only it was that easy, but you can manage your reaction to it. The hack here is to schedule in 5-minute resets into your calendar, just like you would a meeting. When the alarm goes off, you stop what you're doing and you deliberately decompress. This will interrupt the cortisol surge and it gives your nervous system a bit more of a chance to calm down. Try putting 3 of these into your calendar. So maybe at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., something like that. One option is box breathing. So inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and just repeat that for 5 minutes. I know it sounds silly. It's a simple practice that has a powerful, immediate calming effect. Another option is just a mindful walk. Step away from your desk, leave your phone behind, just go and walk for 5 minutes. Don't think of it as exercise, just think of it as breaking that mental stress loop. Just focus on your feet hitting the ground and letting that air on your skin. You could also use a meditation app, so quickly write down your thoughts as another option, or just sit in silence with a cup of tea and just chill. The activity itself matters less than the consistency. By scheduling these small breaks into your day, you are proactively managing your cortisol instead of reactively reaching for a snack. It builds a buffer against emotional eating and it helps you feel like you're back in the driver's seat, which is important. And the next thing is the myth of more is more. This is the third reason you aren't losing weight, because you've fallen for the more is more myth. Busy people are obsessed with efficiency, right? So we apply that same logic to weight loss. If I just do more cardio, more brutal workouts, or eat less, I'll get results faster. That's the common misconception. This almost always backfires. So let's talk about workouts first, right? So many of us think that long, grueling cardio sessions are the secret to fat loss. But if you're only doing cardio and you're skipping strength training, you're likely losing precious muscle along with any body fat. Muscle is metabolically active, okay? Which means the more of it you have, the more calories you will burn, even while you're sitting on your ass on the couch. And that is amazing, right? So we want that to be fired up. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down, making it much harder to lose body fat and keep it off long term. Then there's the trap of skipping meals. Listen, I get it, you're busy, you forgot lunch, and you think, oh, it's great, I just saved myself 500 calories. But it's not as simple as that. Unplanned meal skipping usually leads to you becoming absolutely ravenously hungry later on, and that causes intense cravings and generally overeating at dinner or late at night. That saved lunch often turns into a massive dinner plus a pint of ice cream, completely wiping out any progress that you've made. And finally, there's sleep. You might sacrifice an hour of sleep for an early morning workout thinking you're making a healthy trade-off. But a lack of quality sleep will really mess with the very hormones controlling your hunger. It causes ghrelin, which is the I'm hungry hormone, to spike, and leptin, which is the I'm full hormone, to drop. And this is the result. You feel hungrier, less satisfied all day, even if you're eating the exact same amount of food. So the hack to this is something I call the minimum effective dose. The solution is to stop chasing more and start focusing on the minimum effective dose. This is just a nice simple concept of what is the smallest amount of effort I can put in to get the result that I want. So for weight loss, it's about being smart and efficient, not just running yourself into the ground, mate. First, your workouts. Instead of endless cardio, aim for 3 or 4 30-minute sessions per week that prioritize strength training. This builds and maintains metabolism boosted muscle, which is what we want. Focus on getting a little stronger over time, so gradually lifting heavier or doing a few more reps. You can add in some high intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, if you want to, because that'll give you a great calorie burn for a short amount of time. Secondly, organize more movement into your day. It's pretty simple to be honest, but it's massive. That 30-minute workout is great, but what you do in the other 23.5 hours, that's really important. So this is called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, also known as NEAT. It's just a fancy term for all the calories you burn by moving around all day. So take calls while walking, do stretches at your desk, always take the stairs or park a little further away from your destination. These small things will add up to huge calorie burn over time. It compounds massively. And finally, treat sleep like it's your most important meeting of the day. I want you to aim for 7 to 9 hours a night. So set an alarm an hour before bed to remind you it's time to start winding down. So put your phone away, make your bedroom a little bit of a sanctuary for sleep. Blackout blinds, all that jazz. Now, this isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable part of a healthy metabolism. So there you have it, the real reasons you might be stuck right now. Disorganized habits that lead to mindless eating, chronic stress that's messing with your hormones massively, and the more is more myth that just leads you to being absolutely burnout. If you see the pattern here, it's that the problem isn't a lack of effort, it's a lack of strategy. And the fix isn't to work harder, it's to work smarter with a few simple systems. So let's just quickly recap these hacks. Number 1 is fight carnage by building a grab and go system so the healthy choice becomes the easy one. The second one is beat stress by scheduling in 5-minute resets to manage your cortisol and stop that emotional eating before it even starts. And the third one is to ditch the more is more myth by focusing on the minimum effective dose for your workouts, your daily movement, and especially your sleep. You have the power to break through this plateau, you really do. And it starts with being more intentional, not more intense. With better organization, not more willpower. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 3 reasons hit home the most for you? Are you stuck with disorganization? Are you stressed all the time? Or do you think the more is more myth actually works? Just do me a favor, drop it in the comments below. That would be great. Your story might be exactly what helps someone else, and it might be what they need to hear. And if this was helpful in any way, just give this video a little thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, that's all good. And I will see you in the next video.